Okay, after listening to Coach Williams' press conference, I am 100% convinced I would never be a goalie. So I learned a lot about soccer today, gentlemen. I don't know a lot about soccer, but I know I couldn't be a goalie. He started talking about height and agility and being able to jump. And sorry, Coach Williams, you would never recruit me to be a goalie. All right, you guys fire away.
Coach, what did you see in the Indiana State game on Wednesday that you're gonna take and put in practice on tomorrow?
You talking about their game versus Valpo? Don't foul them. I mean, seriously, don't foul them. Keep them off the line. 25 of 28 from the free throw line. They sped Valpo up a little bit. Valpo turned it over 21 times. But the big key with those guys, it just hasn't changed. It's Batman and Robin. It's Barnes and Key and Barnes. And they've always had a guy that kind of takes the stride, takes the next step. And that right now has been Nice here lately, the transfer for Butler. And he's shooting the ball per minutes played as much as those other guards are. So their perimeter play right now is really good. So we've got to do a good job of guarding them on the perimeter. We got to do a good job keeping them off the free throw line. Their top 5 scorers, with the exception of the big men, are all shooting 80% or above from the free throw line. So we've got to be cognizant of that.
It's free throws. That's what's going to win the tournament. Who hits their free throws, just about.
I've always said this, of course the tournament's always been about great guard play, no question. It's about can you get stops in the half court and can you score in the half court, and you're exactly right. Can you make your free throws and can you not turn the ball over? Guys, our best free throw shooter right now statistically is Kavion Pippen. And that's no disrespect to Kavion, but he's shooting way above what he did last year. And Darius is our second best free throw shooter on our team. And I've got every bit of the confidence when Darius is on the line. But we've got to get these guys, it's more mental than it is anything. Armand's not a bad free throw shooter. He's just not making free throws. Sean Lloyd's not a bad free throw shooter. Aaron Cook's not a bad free throw shooter. It's surprising, though, Aaron's percentage is exactly right now what it ended last year in the conference, 62%. So those guys got to get in here, and they have been. They've been getting in here. They've been shooting free throws, and we've scheduled them to get in here at off times. And but you're right, we've got to start making them. Can't lose 3-point games, miss 6 free throws, lose 5-point games, miss 8 free throws. Can't do it. It's got to be a big deal.
You've played some good offensive teams, but do you need to play harder on defense right now than you are?
I'm disappointed in how we're playing off the ball defense. Our off the ball defense right now is non-existent. We've really done a good job of putting pressure and heating the basketball up. But our guys off the ball, we got back cut for 3 layups the other night, Todd. I mean, that's not how we guard. And there's so much hype and energy, and everybody's saying heat the ball up and do all this stuff. But those guys that aren't guarding the ball, they're all getting caught up in the height and get out there and denying and getting back cut and getting penetrated on. And we got to get out of that mode. I mean, we just got to get out of that mode.
They didn't Barnes. I didn't see him in the game late in the game.
He fouled out
in overtime.
Yeah.
How different are they? When Williams is a bigger guard, Nice is a little bit bigger guard than Jordan, but obviously not the same offensive threat.
No, you're right. Jordan is just such a threat every time he's on the floor because he'll pull it from anywhere. You got to find him in transition. When they were here at our place, they shot 48%. And they really scored the ball extremely well. And Barnes and Key both, I went back over all of their buckets, all their points. And 29 of their points were in transition. They scored 45 points between the two of them, and 29 were in transition. We got to do a better job of locating those guys.
I'm doing something on the redshirting freshman, Barry,
Yep.
later in the month.
Yep.
Amadou was a guy you really couldn't see a lot of. How has he developed, this year, Amadou Fall?
Well, they've all developed. They've all done a good job. The thing that Amadou's done is he's improved a tremendous amount defensively and offensively. His skill level, the guy hadn't been playing very long, but he's got something that we can't teach. He's got height and he's got reach. But there's no question that Siku has just blown us away. He works harder and is the most improved player on our basketball team from freshman to senior. He's been the best consistent player every day in practice. I tell you what, guys, we can't keep him off the glass. He's, I'm not going to say that. He's referable to another player we had that was a really good offensive rebounder.
What about Schaefer? How about Schaefer? What has he been what you expected?
Yeah, matter of fact, he's comfortable. When he first got here, Todd, he was so sped up, and the game was so fast. But we have to be cognizant of wherever he is on the floor, because when he shoots it, I mean, he's shooting probably in practice a 50% clip, 45 to 50% clip. So yeah, it was the best thing for him. These guys, I've always told you this: 100% of the red shirts never want a red shirt. After they red shirt, 100% of them are glad they red shirted. I mean, it's been that way my entire career, and I think they all realize now that it was the right thing for them to do.
Watching the Indiana State game, I was watching the guys that, when they were in a man-to-man, the guys that on the baseline that kind of sag in, and then they have to recover if a guy gets thrown. They seem like they're, maybe it's my imagination, not as far in, and they can recover better if a guy is throwing the ball to shoot the three. Is that we do? I don't know.
Marv, the problem with that is that we don't want to give up a layup. I'm still old school. I'm not giving up a layup. I'm not going to give up layups or dunks. We gave up 3 against Indiana State.
So
because
we're play out a little bit further.
Yeah, we're worried about, a lot of people are worried about that guy. I'm worried about the basket. But I will say this: it's where the game's changing.
Right.
Because you put a guy in the corner, like in our last game, Ellingson or Wilkins, now you've got to make a decision. Is he going to make that 3 more so than the guy's going to make the 2? And then that's where the game is really changing. And you have to adapt, but I'm not adapting that. I just don't think you give up easy baskets.
Valpo went to Smits a lot in that last game.
Yeah.
Is that the game plan for you guys, to go to Pippen a lot?
Hey, let's get one thing straight. Our game plan every game is to go to Pippen. So let's just get all the secrets out of there right now. Our game plan is to go to Pippen as much as possible. And the encouraging factor the other night was I really jumped KP about maybe the 12-minute mark of the second half, because he wasn't working hard. The only reason Kavion doesn't catch the ball more is it's Kavion not wanting the ball more. And our message at halftime was feed the post, get it inside, and play off of Kavion. And that's what we kept talking about. So, yes, that's our game plan, night in and night out. Get the ball into him, and when he's aggressive, I think we're much better when he's like that. He only had 12 against Indiana State. And, excuse me, Rickman had a lot to do with that, because he's got girth. And girth bothers Kavion. Danius bothers him. Any bigs with girth. Roberts came in the night, bothered him, but finally we got him kind of jammed up a little bit. And but you've noticed there's 2 guys that kind of bother Kavion. Big girth guys and pick and pop guys that shoot the 3. But that was one of his better games defensively on McGlynn. He did a good job.
Well, there's not much he could do as far as the girth thing. Is there some technique he used to defeat that
Marv,
advantage?
I think he's got girth. He just doesn't use it. He just doesn't use it. Bless his heart. And I've told you guys this before. And I mean, for another man to say this, he's got one of the greatest butts I've ever seen in college basketball. That's when you play inside with your back to the basket, your greatest asset, no pun intended, is your butt. And that he's got to utilize it more. And if he will just be more aggressive physically, I think he can get the ball as much as he wants.
And if he does that, I think he's got one of the best chances to make some money in the pros of anybody that's in the league.
I don't disagree, because when's the last time you saw a big guy that can score with his right or his left? And now he's making free throws, and now he's confident to shoot from 15 feet. We just got to get him being more aggressive around the basket.
One more. Coach, how frustrating has it been, the inconsistencies? Whether it's free throws, offense, defense, just the highs have been very good, but the lows have been really strong.
Well, Darren, I'd say this. Everybody's going through it in the league. Everybody. look at the race. Look at the records. I mean, everybody. There's nobody, with the exception of Loyola at one point in time, that kind of got off on 2 a row. Nobody else. Nobody else. I mean, I would have to say right now, from what I can tell you, in all the games I've watched, Drake's playing the best basketball of the league right now. Second best would be Missouri State. You know, they're playing well. Those 2 teams right now are playing the best of the league. And so the inconsistency has been a lot due to the parity in the league. And, I mean, it's just the inconsistency from us is we have higher expectations, without a doubt, on the free throw line. There's no question. We have higher expectations from what we do defensively, but we're still the second best defensive team in the league. So I think our frustrations, a lot of it comes down to parity in the league. And I told you guys, it's the way it's going to end up. It's going to be interesting to see. They gave a stat the other day that there's never been this many teams to win 13 games in the league. I mean, you've got a chance for precedent to be set. And you also have a chance for precedent to be set that if Loyola doesn't win the league, it'll be the first time since '91 that a team with a 2-game lead with 6 games left doesn't win the league. So this is the year that throw out all the stats, all the stuff that you've heard about, because I mean it's going to be interesting.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Okay, guys, thanks. Have a great day. Thank y'all.